Hello, hello, hello. How are you? It's night, day already, day of the night. It's already end of the day, and I'm really, really happy to be here. I have another panel. We will see how it will work. I'm trying to make it work today. The technology is a bit on the other side, not supporting us so much. So let's see. I will be bringing up a panel of four. Elijah is here with us. You know him already. He's already with us for a while, and we fixed some issues. Let's see who can be part of the conversation. If there is a big lag, I will just leave those on the screen who can manage the conversation. The rest will be moved in the backstage so that we can have a beautiful conversation. So let's try. First of all, I will be bringing up Elijah. We're going to Africa again, don't forget, and we will be talking about startups, and I'm really excited about the topic. So, hi Elijah, how are you today?
Yo, I'm doing great. Today has actually been so amazing. And I mean, I've been looking forward to this section since like the last 6 months. And now here we are. I am super excited, super happy for this section as well. Connect, engage, and ultimately to explore the power of diversity. Yep.
Thank you so much for being here. Just make sure your audio is good because now it's a bit low. So make it a bit higher volume until I'm bringing up Amen. Hi, Amen. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having
Thank you
me.
so much for being here.
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
happy to have you here. And we have Harriet here. Hi, Harriet. How are you today?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be here. It's amazing. Thank you for this opportunity. Looking forward to talk much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for making it, and thank you for helping me and being here. And let's see, Elizabeth. I know that there was a big background noise, but I'm trying to bring you up again. And let's see whether it's a bit more silent around you. Hi,
Hello,
Elizabeth.
good
Okay,
afternoon,
good.
everyone.
Much better, much better. So
Thank
let's
you.
try. I will leave the stage, Elijah. The stage will be
Yep.
yours. You are leading the ladies towards this beautiful conversation. And
Yeah.
you have around 40 minutes to discuss the topic of cultural fusion and startups. And I'm so excited to see these beautiful young talents here on the screen. So I will be moving backstage. The stage is yours, Elijah.
All right. Okay. Miss Elizabeth, good. Yeah, thank you for muting the mic a bit. Thank you. All right. So I'm very excited. I mean, we have all ladies, all superpower, still right here with me. All right. So today's section is going to be very amazing because what we're trying to discuss today, right, is to explore our perspectives with respect to cultural fusion within the startup space. So some of us, I believe, that have explored, the diversities in startups, in corporations. I mean, you might even have your own business you're doing by the side, where you tend to deal with different people, right? So now we're exploring how diversity can be implemented, right? And the quality of change can be anticipated when different views, different opinions, different perspectives are connected together. In a nutshell, I'll go into the discussion for today with a quote. Someone said, if you want to go fast, go alone, right? If you want to go far, um, go with people. But let me add this: if you want to do much more in the process of you going far, go with people that have different perspective but the same purpose. All right. So now let's get into the heart of the matter. So I'm just going to ask some couple of questions, right? And I know we have here Miss Harriet. She's a sustainability expert. Miss Amen is a Scrum Master, and she works with different category of people. And we have Miss Elizabeth, who is a creative. She's a creative expert, a creative startup owner, as well as someone who is desperately exploring the frontiers of art and also how it connects with the well-being of children. So now I'm just going to start with Miss Amen. The discussion for today is cultural fusion in startup, right?
Yeah.
So when you hear the word startup, right? What comes to your mind? Because a lot of people think about different things. A startup definition similar, or would you say that in each definition is dependent on what the organization or the driving vision is centered on? So, what's your take on the whole startup thing?
Okay. All right. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yep.
So I think I want to go further with your statement on
Mm,
if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you have to
yeah.
go with people. I remember some years back, I was privileged to actually be in presence of one of an amazing human being I've ever seen. Is a structure. Is late now. His name is Ubon King, and he said something that actually resonated with me and still resonating with me till today. And it's kind of interlined with what you just said. And he said,
Yeah.
if you want to grow for 6 months, plant corn. If you want to grow for a year, plant yam. But if you want to grow or stay relevant for a long time,
Mm,
plant people. So at the end of the day, your relationship with people is what will determine how far you go. Not your money, not your accolade, not your pedigree, nothing. Is your relationship with people. Do you understand?
yeah.
So based on what you just said about startup, I think well, everybody now knows startup as a growing company or probably
Mm,
maybe a developing organization or initiative. So for me, I think a startup is something that has not developed to its mature stage as a company like a big company like maybe Google or Microsoft or something like that. Or probably if you live in Nigeria, a developed country will be like maybe all these banks like UBA Bank, GT banks, or maybe others oil companies you get. But I feel like a startup is a company or an organization, an initiative that is just going, developing, just starting the waters and just trying out different or innovative ideas. Because one thing I actually love is I love working. I've realized now because I've worked with big companies and I've worked with startups, a lot of startups. And to me, I actually prefer working with startups because they're just playing around the waters. So literally you get more innovative ideas with working closely with startup because there's not a standardized rule of how you need to work, right? Or like you're
nice.
working with a big bank and all. But like with a startup, like they can just come up tomorrow and just start experimentation. And I love
Mm,
experimental things. I love trying new things because someone like me, I get bored easily doing the same thing
uh,
every day. But one thing I love about my job, because I'm working in a big bank, and one thing I love about my job is you're working with different teams. So literally,
mm,
I'm having meeting now, and in the next 15 minutes, I have another meeting. The next, 30 minutes,
yeah.
I'm
Wow.
so it's quite challenging and it's a very fast-paced organization. So imagine if I was working in a big organization like that, I was just working with like a team. I would just have
Mm,
like meetings maybe once or twice in a day. I'll get bored, right? So I feel like startup gives you the opportunity to grow in different sectors, in different domain of work. Remember when we were working in that organization, Binkom, we were doing
yeah.
so many, and because we're doing so many things, we got good at doing so many things. So
Interesting.
we became higher than most of our like our mates who were just doing one thing. You
Mm,
were doing marketing, you were hosting events, you were a
yeah.
facilitator,
Yeah.
you were a coach, you were this, you were that, and that thing makes you grow faster. Because one of my mentors said it recently. He said you grow
Mm,
faster in an avenue that pushes you to grow. When you're in an avenue where you are just complacent and you just do one thing and
you don't go
literally
fast.
you won't grow fast, right? You grow
I
when you're in a
see.
competitive environment. And I think that is what startup as the advantage startup
Mm,
have over most big corporations. You
all
get
right.
because big corporations, you have a lot of people doing so many things. So they have
Yeah.
different domains of, when I was working in a startup as a scrum master, I was doing the work of a PO, I was doing work of marketer, I was doing the work of a product manager, I was doing so many things. So I got to learn from each domain, right? Or like
Yeah.
now, as a scrum master in a big corporation, I'm just doing one thing, which is the role of a scrum master. But the difference is I am doing it for different teams. I'm
I see.
scaling. You
Mm.
understand? Exactly. So,
Okay,
so
okay. All right. I
let
mean,
me go
I,
through. So let me allow you to
well,
talk. So I think that my
well,
time
well,
has, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, that is very interesting.
Thank you.
Coming from the point where you are able to interface with different people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and of course, one key thing you also mentioned is that being a part of a startup system creates the avenue or the environment for innovation and
Yeah.
inclusive growth, both racial inclusive growth, both gender inclusive growth, both
Yeah.
social inclusive growth. So everyone's a part of that system to ensure that it builds up and ultimately impacts the society. Now, this takes me to the next question, which I want to direct to Ms. Harriet, with respect to startup building, um, connecting, race, connecting gender. Ms. Harriet, I found this is a human rights, advocate and one who is pushing forward the frontiers of sustainability within the terrains of Africa, from Kenya to Nigeria, and a whole lot. So, Ms. Harriet, permit me to add a little bit spicing on the cake. So, you worked with one of the leading um, innovation building and value management organization in Africa called YIL, right? And you meet with a lot of people, both from Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal. It's so many people here, right? So for you, what do you think is the place of now? I'm asking the question because it connects with something. Someone did. I think that was Jeff Bezos. He said, as you grow big, right? As you think globally, or as you grow globally, still have the framework or the perspective of local development. In other words, you go global, but you still think local. All right. So thinking local simply means you don't go out of scope, right? Everybody is connected one way or the other. So for you, with respect to sustainability, right? How inclusive um, do you think startups are in the context of Africa at the moment? How inclusive do you think startups are in the context of Africa? And how fast are they to adopt sustainability? How fast are they to adopt sustainability?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Elijah. Thank you so much for introducing me. Of course, my name is Harriet Afandi, and I come from Kenya. And my my start in the digital space started when um at a high speed when I joined Walpass Community. It's a global,
Mm,
independent, women-led social network for social change. So I joined there with the mindset of working on sustainable development goals 1 to 5.
mm,
So, but then I also joined Impact. Impact is an environmental and social network that holds companies and businesses accountable for their social and environmental activities on planet and the people. So I'm currently a certified SDG 3, 4, 5, 9, and 10 expert, and also a certified impact rater. So working in a diverse environment digitally, when I joined YIL, that's the Young Innovation Leaders Fellowship, my mind was opened on the verge of innovations and startups, just basically the startups in the innovation sector. So I joined there with a startup and just a group startup on agricultural sustainability. So I was working on the role of women in agribusiness, in sustainable agribusiness. These are startups, such startups on local or rather community level, bring this aspect of inclusivity in the global sector, because right now we were focusing on the West Africa, South Africa, East Africa, to be particularly for my case. And then we have these people from the global north. You understand, the people from the global north are the ones who are encouraging us to work this harder. When you see that we are trying to elevate poverty, we are trying to elevate hunger, so we are trying this issue of empowerment, just to be a little bit more empowered like the global north. So shift the power. I'm currently this project of Shift the Power that is going to happen in Bogota, Colombia. So I'm in one of the initiatives that is bringing this initiative upwards. So working in a diverse environment, some of the challenges that I've encountered is the time factor, the time difference, the time zone. So you will find like the global south, we are normally like right now it's in the evening on this it's going in the evening on this part of the world, but on the global north it's kind of maybe in the middle of the night, like the USA, the New York, the middle of the night. And the people who are running such initiatives are going to wake up in the middle of the night when it's in Africa or the global south. So managing time to such initiatives has been a very different thing. Another thing is communication in this cultural diversity. Communication is another problem. So you find that there are some people who are expressing quite a difficult in communicating their issues or their grievances. So but we have initiatives that bring together such people that addresses this cultural sensitivity in startups. So we will get different people, different roles, different cultures, different countries in one initiative to bring about equity, equality, and diversity, or rather inclusion in one initiative, for us to get to understand each other, or rather for each and every member of a community to be represented in such startups. So that is it, and that will bring more about sustainability, such that when a person from another country is representing that country, another one from another one, so it goes on, and this team grows up by bringing up more people, including more of the vulnerable, more of the people of the low communities. And thus we are going I mean, the world is becoming a global village in that factor. So thank you so much. I hope I have two,
Nice,
3 points
nice.
in that.
Alright, this is very interesting because thank you so much, Miss Harriet, for your feedback with respect to the adoption of sustainability, specifically from startup focus on grassroots related impact. And of course, I mean, having your range of experience around SDG 8, SDG 9, which of course cuts across the areas of innovation and infrastructure, as well as
Yeah.
decent work creation, so employability. Eh,
Actually, actually I recently and I was certified as a good health and well-being expert, and then gender
Yes,
equality, and then quality education, and then this one on innovation and
yes,
infrastructure. So
yeah,
and social inequalities and inequalities, just
interesting.
from
Wow, wow, this is this is interesting because I mean I am yet to meet anyone who has this large degree of certification around the SDG. And there was something striking you mentioned when you said, the world becoming a global village, a very striking thing. And around the area of sustainability, you brought in the factor of, I think, the ESG, environment, social, and I think, is it some ESG has to do, I know government, G has to do with something, but ultimately, in a way, it is you trying to hold companies and organizations responsible for the actions they actually create, both on the local and on the global scale. So I'm going to ask a question to Miss Elizabeth, and then after which I'll try to share some couple of ideas around the whole core idea of startup. I actually have some startup I actually managing as well, so we're all going to like brainstorm together. So Miss Elizabeth, right? She's the CEO of Ladycraft Artwork, so she runs a startup, right? And the question to ask, I would say, is for you, would you say um, gender inclusiveness, depending on your niche, right? Would you say gender inclusiveness with respect to startup is based on the kind of initiative you run? Like a more relatable case would be if I have a business that is centered around social good, around education, right? Around community building, right? There are high tendencies that the people you'll find in most of these areas are going to be females. All right. So the ratio varies though, but you find a lot of females going into social related impact stuff because it's something that connects with them, I would say. Why if it's a startup that has to do with tech, right? For instance, a startup that has to do with tech, coding, computing, you find males, a lot of male figures going into tech. So it varies though. It varies. But would you say for you, how has gender inclusiveness been with respect to your niche, with respect to the startup you have? Yes, ma. Oh, I think her network is acting now. All right. So anyways, I would just have to take up that question and perhaps maybe
Sorry, Elijah, can I take question just a brief, like let me say
okay,
something
now
about that.
yes, yes, please do so.
I think everything has to do with exposure. Because I
Mm,
kid you not, when I started my tech career, there were women that inspired me to start a career in tech than male, to be honest. People like Enueka, people like Dr. Adi, they were women because I was not intrigued that if a woman can do this, then I can do it. You understand? So gender inclusiveness, I think it depends on your how exposed you are. And I think most of the thing has to do with who are the people you talk to, who are your caliber of friends, who are your network. Because like they say, your network is your net worth, right? Who are people you listen to? So I feel like inclusivity itself depends on you yourself. Do you really want to learn as a female? We shouldn't always have the ideology that tech is just for the male gender. No, I think we are more exposed to understand that the tech it's way beyond a gender thing. Because right now tech is not just, oh, you have to code or program. There are non-technical roles that you can take as a scrum master. So I think I saw a message someone asking, what does a scrum master do, or who is a scrum master? It's a non-technical role. You don't necessarily need to code. You don't necessarily need to program. It's basically channeling your soft skills, your communication skills, your facilitation skills, your problem solving skills. Those are the skills literally you need to have as a scrum master. And most of these skills, I didn't go to school to learn them. Firstly, before my tech career, I was an entrepreneur. I'm still an entrepreneur. I was a businesswoman. And I figured that most of the skills I had, they were just transferable skills that I had from my business that I could actually channel to start a career as a project manager. Then I pivot into a scrum master role. So inclusivity itself is, do you want to learn it? It's not about, oh, I'm a male or female. We have someone like Adora Nwando, who is one of the top leader in the tech place, the technical space. She's an engineer. She's a software engineer in Nigeria. And so, are you telling me that if a female like that can actually be a software engineer in Nigeria, so what are you telling me? She has inspired a lot of women, even men, to even become software engineers. So I don't think it's about you saying most male are going into the tech space. There are more women in the tech space now, even though the ratio is higher for men. But a lot of women are actually considering that career path because of there are a lot of opportunities. You get opportunities to work from home. You get opportunities to travel out. You understand, to work for international companies. You get opportunity to have a better life. You understand, a better life, and I don't know, take care of bills that you had no idea you were going to even take. Even have a lifestyle that you never dreamt you would have. Take you to places. Speak with people with value. And I think these are the things we need to talk about. It's not just about the male gender anymore. If we really want to talk about inclusivity, we should actually
yeah,
encourage women to actually take the role of tech and not make it so sound difficult that just
yes,
a male gender can actually understand it, or can actually take the role, or take the role of probably a scrum master, or a product manager, or a QA tester. The first QA
yeah,
tester I knew was a lady. I'm serious. So throughout my career, I was not inspired by ladies because I'm like, if a woman just like myself can do this, then Oh yeah, I can. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if we really want to preach about inclusivity, we should always
yeah.
include women and not demoralize them and say, oh, because you are a lesser vessel or whatever, you can't do this. You have to go into
Interesting.
beauty or fashion and things like that. No, there are more women who are really making headways, building startups like you said. And you understand, it's just about your exposure. Are you
Yeah,
curious to know these things? Do you really want a better life for yourself? Do you understand?
yeah,
So, and
yeah,
me, I love living a good life. I want good things of life. So definitely it wasn't difficult because it was really a long journey. You know my journey. And see, I'm here. And so I just feel it's just about most people, what they lack is exposure and information. When you have the right
mm,
information and the right exposure, as in, and you're ready to do the work. Seriously, the sky is your starting point.
all right,
I'm not kidding, to be honest. So we should
all
always
right.
include men in everything, not just, oh, you should focus on fashion or things like that. You should include us. One of my mentors
Yeah,
said something. I'm sorry for cutting him. One of my mentors said something that in a world where probably maybe 50%, we have 50% male, 50% female, and we're expecting just only 50% to do the work of a whole 100%, to take care of the problem for the whole 100%. So let's say an example, we are like 100% male and female. We are 50% female, 50% male, and we are allowing just 50% to do the work, while the less 50% are just allowed to, focus on taking care of the children, being a
yeah,
mom. Wrong. Because there are some of those 50% women that can actually that have ideas, innovative ideas, that are courageous, they are determined, they are disciplined, that they can actually help. Why not channel that, strength from women? Women are so powerful. We have no idea how powerful we are. If
okay.
only,
So
so that is just it.
this is engaging, right? But you said something, right? One of the key advantage I would say is that in a section like this, we're able to um, expose our thoughts, become vulnerable enough to find point of interception between our ideas, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to connect something and then head back to what we are saying, what we're discussing at the moment. So you get a case study, right? Now, I personally I believe in inclusiveness. I believe that it is necessary because um, collective power drives growth and progress. Collective power. Now, I have a question, but this is still dependent on certain factors in place. Like since it's all inclusiveness, okay. So let's take for instance the construction space, right? I believe wherever there are opportunities, both male and females should be given the avenue to explore. Yes, because the world is equal, right?
Mhm.
But um there are certain occupations, right? There are certain occupations, there are certain industries that I would say is not convenient enough to give the place. Yeah, let's say methodology, for instance. I mean, the casting of irons, where you have manual labor. I mean, manual men, handymen, pulling out
Mhm.
hot iron ore. Like I know you're laughing, right?
They are really
So
in construction.
wait,
Have you really gone into like
wait,
hey,
wait, wait, wait,
there
wait,
are
wait.
women
So
who are actually into constructions now. Do you know
no, no,
that?
no, no. Like, I know there are women into the area of construction,
Mm-hmm.
right, which is a good thing, right? But in the operational side of construction, this is where I'm heading
Oh,
to. The
okay.
operational side of construction, where you have to, I mean, the production of aluminum oil, the production of iron ore, where the production of steel process takes place. That is like an oven, like it's like an
But,
oven.
but
Uh,
wait, are
you,
we giving them? Are we giving women the opportunity to actually take that role?
I think I think in a way.
We've not opened that channel for more women to actually know.
Okay,
Okay,
let me ask you a question.
you can actually be in construction. I'm serious.
Okay, let me
I
ask you a
know,
question.
you know what? I know women who are founders of
Mm,
construction company. Even the
mm,
first, I've not met her, but she's one of my mentors. She's the first woman in Nigeria
mm.
to be an architecture. the first woman architecture in Nigeria? Do you
I
get?
think the question is this. Like, I think the question is this, right? In the operational side of things. Now,
Mm-hmm.
each organization have different verticals, have different orders. In the This is a case study. So if you take the construction industry, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the engineering aspect, you have the architectural modeling aspect, you have the implementation aspect. Now you have the operational aspect. Now, the operational aspect takes the blueprint of their struggle.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's right.
okay, I know, right? But we don't. When Mr. Chan said something, he said, I've not seen ladies or women who process hot iron ore." I mean, because
That is where exposure comes in. If
but
you
let me ask you
travel
this. Okay,
abroad, you should know
Miss
these
Amen,
things. Yeah.
if you're given
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity to work in a space like an operational space where this is just like an open thought,
Yeah.
right? We'll
Mm-hmm.
see, come back together, narrow the points
Mm-hmm.
together. But they're given the opportunity to work in the operational space of the construction industry where metallurgical processes are being implemented. Now, this includes steel making, this includes casting, this includes, I mean, a lot of welding, all right,
Yeah.
where there are high chances of risks, associated
Mm-hmm.
risks involved,
Mm-hmm.
right, and high pressure also being a part of it. Would you take such role?
If I'm passionate about it, I would. And one thing I want you to know is that before,
Hmm.
in any organization, before you start doing some certain things, there's something we call all body process, an academy where they take you through all the tips and all the necessary guidelines you need to know to prevent risks or accidents. Do you
Is that done
understand?
everywhere?
Yes, it's
Let,
done
no,
everywhere.
no.
In in a
Let's say in a
structured
developing,
environment,
no,
it's
wait,
necessary.
okay,
Even
in a
those men,
developing
even men
country.
that are working in operational, in construction, whatever,
Hmm.
they are given guidelines on how to prevent some certain risks before they start working. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
I
it's,
would.
it's just a necessary measure to take, no matter your
Interesting.
gender. Yes.
Okay,
I
so
remember,
I have
sorry.
no. I'm not arguing. No, I'm
I
not
want
arguing.
to wait. I remember before I got my job, and
Okay.
the HR really sat me down and he said, "Do you know you're going to be working with a lot of guys?" And I was like, "Yeah." So, and it was like, "Have you worked with guys before?" And to me, I felt insulted because if it was a guy, they would never ask him if he has worked with guys before. And the
Hmm.
funniest thing, something funny really happened this last week. So because most of the developers they work remotely, right? And I just resumed, so I have to be coming to work every day to understand the operations of the work
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
team. So I was in a stand-up meeting and I was asked, I was actually new to the team. I just joined
Hmm.
the team this week, and the person who was supposed to take me through the whole team was not available. So I had to come up and manage the
Yeah.
team and coach the team. So I was asking each developer, okay, so what have you done so far? So someone told me that all the developers are here, like physically, they were with me. And so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what have you done? And I was calling them, what have you done? I was sitting down and they were standing and looking at me like I'm not scared of that. So I don't care. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand. Like they felt that power exchange of this girl is not scared of us. Like even though she just came newly, like in
Yeah.
short, with that type of boldness and that courage, they
Yeah.
respected me because they started asking me questions because they're like, "Who are you? Like, what state are you from?" I said, "These are women. I'm serious."
Uh,
So if
okay.
more women are given that power, we'll be able
Hmm.
to manage some certain things well. Even though we are not even in the operational side, we can manage those people involved in the operational side because women
I
are
agree.
multitaskers. So
I
we don't
agree.
necessarily need to do the dirty work like you guys say, but we can manage people who do the dirty work. So that's just we need more
You
women.
What
And
you
then
said that what you said that is very striking. You said even though you don't do the dirty work, like
yes,
you got
Actually,
you
Mr.
got to do
Elijah,
dirty work.
Mr. Elijah,
Well, well, it's all good. It's all
Mr.
good.
Elijah, can
So
you hear me?
let me let me this is just like
Mr.
a
Elijah,
collective.
can you
Okay,
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Miss Harriet.
Okay, I want to say that thank you, Armin, for being a women rights activist. You are more of an advocate, so you are an activist. Thank you for that. So, building the
So you have
digital
a lot of
gender
right
divide
advocates.
gap. That
Interesting.
as one of the people who won awards for promoting the United Nations 2023 International Women's Day theme
Mm,
for promoting gender equality, innovation technology for gender equality. I won a Girls in ICT Award, featured story award at World Pass. So I believe that women are going ahead, so much ahead in terms of participating in the digital space. So it's just for us to look for more initiatives that are going to bridge this gap.
interesting. Thank you so much, Miss Harriet. All right. So just like because we have a short amount of time, let me just give like my 2 cents. All right, on the general ideas shared. So personally, for me, right, yes, presently I kind of like run about 5 different startups, and um, within Nigeria here, ultimately try to see how we could expand, connecting all the opportunities and creating solutions out of current existing problem. And one of the key things I've observed is that when it comes to cultural fusion, right, um, no one has the monopoly of ideas, right? Nobody has the monopoly of ideas. Ideas are equally distributed to all genders, both male, female, whoever it might be, right? And the implementation of the idea itself, ideas to be implemented, you need environments that are welcoming enough to embrace those ideas and ultimately provide some sort of required support towards which the idea can be converted into product or service that meet a specific problem in the society, right? And I believe that taking Africa as a case study, yes, we are a developing continent and we will keep developing. And nothing can give the African continent the edge of speedy development like cultural fusion, inclusive cultural fusion, starting from the very baseline and ultimately building upward. So whether you are a startup, whether you are a scale up, your willingness to embrace perspectives of growth and to implement this perspective on a stepwise process will determine to a great extent how far you will go, because you can't survive with a single lens. All right, especially in the startup space, which Ms. Ahmed mentioned earlier, because there's a lot of disruption and startup are more flexible to respond to change, adopt the change, manage the change, and rechange. Compared to you having a corporation, which of course is built up, corporation already have systems in place, policies in place, infrastructures in place, which may not necessarily respond positively to change, right? So even if you are planning on scaling up, right, to think global or to view global, but still maintain that local prism, I believe is one key thing that can give the startup ecosystem in Nigeria the chance for them to live longer, and this also expands to other countries. So whether or not you have an idea, you have a talent. Now, a little emphasis on talent. You might have a skill, right? Whatever that skill might be, you can still increase the yield of the skill by building some sort of support system around that skill, or ultimately using that skill as a means of combination with other skill sets, working with people to ultimately create solutions that fix certain social problems and ultimately create long-lasting, hope-driven impact. So it's very, very important. Nobody can survive without the right set of perspective woven together for necessary impact. So just local, yeah, local, yeah, the global and the local perspective combined together. We need to think global. Nice. That's a very amazing team. So going global, interesting. So just kind of like wrapping up. So Miss Amen, in 1 minute, right? And because of our time, in 1 minute, what would you like to say as a closing remark with respect to the cultural fusions, startup impact and ultimately what you're doing from your end to make the necessary change. So in just 1 minute, because of our time.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay, so most
Yeah.
people don't know this about me. Or like I said, I'm a scrum master, and I started my career just last year in the tech space. And
Mm,
literally, I started my career as a scrum master this year. And I was
mm,
waiting between jobs, and I decided that there was a problem I saw, and I decided that maybe I need to fix it. So that was when I started tutoring people on how to pass the PSM1 exam. PSM1 exam is the Professional Scrum Master exam taken by um, people who want to go into the Scrum Master space, aspiring Scrum Masters, or you might even be an experienced Scrum Master who probably needs a promotion at work, and it's that certification that actually needs you to get a promotion. And
mm.
most people, they have busy schedule and they might not really
Yeah,
have time to read, and they probably need a support system or a community that can encourage them, give them that
yeah, yeah,
ginger, the fire to actually go on
yeah,
to achieve goals. So I decided to be that intermediary on fixing that particular problem.
yeah.
And so far, this is going to be my, I think, 7th month so far, because I have a class coming up in December. And so far, so good. It's been amazing. I've learned so much. I've met so many people, so many friends. I've made so much impact. I never thought I was going to make this year. I never envisioned it at all. But I just feel like I said, positioning yourself is another thing. Why in the social media world where information is everywhere, you don't literally need to go far to get information about anything or any idea you're trying to push. And
Mm.
now with the inception of ChatGPT, like you can literally get anything. If you are ignorant in this generation, then you're literally sleeping or living under the rock, to be honest.
Yeah, the Stone Age. Okay.
Like there is no excuse, even if you are from a poor background, middle background, or you're rich. There is no excuse for anyone struggling right now not to make it, because there's YouTube now. You can make YouTube videos and get people to watch your YouTube videos and make money from it. You can go
Okay.
on ChatGPT and write articles. Right, this year I've written 5 articles so far without even getting a a full-time scrum master role. I've written five
Mm.
articles and I still have one more articles coming on.
Wow,
So
we have 30
just
seconds to
manage
go.
the time. Exactly. So I think the all inclusiveness is, I think it's
Yeah,
working, because now with social media everybody has access to anybody. Literally, you can write
that's
an email to the HR of Google telling her that, okay, I would like to work in your organization, and if your CV is composed enough, you might actually get
Miss Ahmed.
exactly.
Miss
So
Miss
there's
Ahmed,
nobody.
we have like less than like 20 seconds.
Okay, so I think that's
We are
all
really
for my end.
talking. Well, it's really amazing, right? I'm just wrapping up. It's really amazing getting to share, our opinions around this field. And I must say this now. I want to say this. One of the one of the truest definition of cultural fusion of initiative is the Global Empowerment Summit, which explores the power of diversity. And we all say, I mean, bringing different people from different places together is cultural fusion. And just a big thank you to Miss Andrea Zaska for doing an amazing job in bringing everybody together. I think the next time we would like you to be on set. I will be asking you, what do you think? What do you think cultural fusion is all about? Because you bring people together, and I think that is really remarkable and praiseworthy. Thank you so much for connecting from Africa to Europe to North America to South America to Asia. Every representative at different point of the continent are speaking the same language. Thank you so much for bringing us together, and I'm excited. Miss Amin is excited. We look forward to greater turnouts.
Yeah.
Yes, arigato. That's so much.
Yeah, hope to see you ladies on the startup competitions, because the new startup competition opened the Africa chapter, so you have to check that out.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you.
Yes,
Wow, it's
they
out.
opened it.
Interesting.
I will
Wow,
send
this
you the
is
links and you can go for it next year. Prepare and then let's go.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you
All
so
right.
much for being here. It has
Thank
been an
you.
Thank
amazing, energetic, humorous, beautiful, emotional, passionate, fun session, all of knowledge, wisdom, all together. I think
Thank
everyone will enjoy, even on a replay. Krishna Chanyuva and Cheryang Tan, and everyone who has been contributing by being here in the comments. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. If you're watching it on replay, please put your questions into the chat. We will be watching this video in the next 1 week because this video will be available. And if there will be a question, please, guys, Elijah and Amen,
Yeah.
go there and answer the questions if there will be any.
Okay.
And for
Yeah.
the other ladies, thank you so much for being here, Harriet and Elizabeth. We will make sure, Elijah, we have to make a separate interview with
Yeah.
Elizabeth so that all the preparation doesn't go to waste, and she will have her turn to
Yeah.
contribute to this beautiful topic. So we will make that happen. I know sometimes technology is challenging us, but
Yeah.
it's always better and better. So cultural fusion, all of us together on one screen without judgment, without labels, accepting what is coming, and
Yeah.
finding something out together what will make the world a little bit a better place, one step at a time.
Thank
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. Like Cherry and Tang said, you
Arigato
jump, I
gozaimasu.
jump.
All right. Thanks for
All
having
right.
me.
Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much.
Bye.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right. So this was the beautiful session from Africa straight away. We started in the USA. We went around the world from Malaysia to Africa, and we have been in many, many countries on different continents today. I'm really happy. Even though technology was a little bit lagging today, we could manage a very insightful conversation, and we will be bringing back those who couldn't make that conversation, I promise you, with a separate interview. So no worries for those who couldn't contribute. You will contribute later. GH and GS is a summit that is not going anywhere. We stay with you. We are here throughout the day. If you want to join the Monday meetups, we are here for you. We have a community meeting up for 4 years every single week. So it's your choice. If you want to show up and be there for yourself and others, you can do that. So you can go to the globalempowermenthub.com website and you can log in and choose your communities. We have a community for speakers and a community for the audience, and we would love to have you there continuously because that's how we grow. We connected in 2020, and ever since then we are together, and it's just a growing community. Everyone finds their own way, and whatever they're missing, we are complementing each other and we are helping each other to grow. So thank you so much. This was beautiful. Another 12 sessions today. We managed to do it, and thank you for all the speakers who have been here. Thank you for Sophia for joining in. Thank you so much for Amen for the knowledge. That's what she's saying. They are very knowledgeable young people, very talented. So I'm looking forward to them to come back so much, more and more. And then Betty saying the Cultural Fusion Startup Impact session was truly an amazing session. Real job by all the panelists. So thank you so much. Everyone is everyone is here to support you. Thank you, Betty, for the comments. And now it's time. It's almost 10 o'clock. You know what happens? 10 p.m. GMT plus 8 time. If you're watching me from other time zone for you too, we will be going to move to our networking session, which will be conducted in a Zoom room. If you have been with us and you signed up for the ticket, you already got the day 2 networking session access to your email addresses, to your calendar notifications. And if you're a speaker, you also received a message in your groups. So I will be welcoming all of you in like 5 minutes. We will be having an amazing, beautiful night, just like yesterday. It starts with some warm-up, then we will do some games, small games, get to know the system that the Giants versus Titans is bringing us. And then we will have networking. So we will be talk about takeaways, we will talk about your challenges, and we will use the collaborative brain of the session to overcome them. Later on, we will be having the Giants versus Titans games, this beautiful game that is very interactive, and Shiv from Malaysia will be conducting and facilitating it. And we are finishing off the night with a beautiful meditation. Someone from Samavira will join us this night tonight live. So before we end up the session, to calm down, you will be having a live meditation coming to you. So that's all. Tomorrow is the third day. If you haven't joined in the last 2 days, please join in. If you're watching on replay, please check back. There are so many sessions already. We have conducted already 25 sessions, so we have 13 more left tomorrow. Please go into the sessions, check them out, rewatch them, listen to them. They will be staying there for you to learn. I know it's a lot of knowledge, so you don't have to get everything at once. That's my message for tonight. So let's go to the networking room. See you in the secret VIP Zoom room, only for the ticket holders and the speakers. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful night and a beautiful morning in the USA. So thank you so much for being here. Let's wrap up this session. Thank you one more time for Elijah and the team from Africa for conducting this beautiful panel about startups and cultural fusion. So let's see. Thank you so much for being here. See you soon.